Hello, my name is Cat and welcome to my 2021 winter event guide and overview video. I did originally plan on making this video a couple of days ago, but this Thursday I took my second dose of the vaccine and that did not quite go as planned. Ended up with a short trip to the hospital, but don't worry, I'm fine. I'm still a little bit low on energy, not fully recovered yet, but I wanted to make this video regardless right now. Don't think I'll have a lot of time next week, so let's jump into it. Let's go over the event. I will have a quick story time with Moving Cat at the end of this video if you want to hear more. It was quite an interesting evening for me. But yeah, that's not why you're here, so let's go over the winter event. And let's start going over the minigame, how that works. This is exactly the same as last year, pretty much, so if you're already familiar, feel free to skip ahead in the video. You'll see some timestamps in the description, you can use those. And also, I'm not going to be doing a lot of editing on this, so I'll just record everything live. Hopefully everything goes well. Should be the same content anyway, so I'll use this video I recorded on the beta server. So here we have the event window. You can see that you have 18 different rewards, and when you start the minigame, all of these are shuffled, and your job is to pick presents and hopefully get some good rewards. Now, some of these are different for each time, but some are also the same, so you'll always have this reward, which gives you 14 stars, which is the event currency. You need 10 stars for each present, so if you pick that, you essentially get 4 stars for free. You have this one here, which is the shuffle. You get 10 stars from that, and you also reset all the rewards, you reshuffle the board, and you get a completely new board to play on. Now, a lot of people don't like this. Of course, if you haven't found the daily special, for example, and you get this, that sucks. But you also need to, after you have found the daily special, it's always nice to shuffle the board so you can get a new daily special. And also you get 10 stars, so again, essentially you get this tile for free. Then you have this one, which gives you 3 stars, and it shows you 2 of the hidden rewards, or shows you what are behind those presents. So if you're lucky, for example, you might get the daily special. Then you have this one, which doubles the next reward you pick. So if you pick that, followed by the daily special, and you'll see a moment I do actually get that in this video, then you get 2 daily specials. Or if you pick this, followed by this, for example, instead of 14, you get 28 stars, and so on. Then you have this here, which is a key for the calendar. The way the calendar works, I'll get a little bit back into it. For each day, you need to find a key, and when you use that key, you get a small reward for that slot. Now, after you've picked up a key on a day, the next time you get a key, you will instead get a key fragment, but you will also get 10 stars. And finally, you have the daily special, and all of the other ones are very smaller rewards, forge points, coins, and so on. And these will be a little bit different for each board, each time you shuffle. So that's basically how it works. When you start, all of these are shuffled, and your job is to basically pick random rewards, presents, and hopefully you get something good. So here you can see that I picked the double one, which means the next present I open will give twice the rewards, and I was really lucky on beta. I got 2 daily specials. This was pretty much the first time I played on the beta event. I didn't really play at all, so yeah, quite lucky there. So, got the daily special, that's nice. Also got 2 reindeers. Now that's another feature. This is a pure diamond feature. If you're not spending diamonds, simply ignore this. So let's go ahead a little bit. So here you have the reindeer sleigh at the edge of your city. Here you get up to, I think it's 9, up to 9 random rewards. So each time you get a daily special, you also get a random reward in here. But to claim these, to get these rewards, you have to spend 3,000 diamonds. So if you're playing for free without any diamonds, simply ignore this. If you are spending diamonds, it might still not be the best option to go for this, depending on what you get. Sometimes you might get some good rewards, and then it might be worth it to get this, but it might also be better to simply go for go for daily specials and spend diamonds on the event instead of these. But that really depends on what kind of rewards you get. Anyways, when you open a present, you also get a match or matchstick, as you can see here. Now, the way these work, if I go a little bit ahead, is that for each match you light between 1 and 3 houses. Make sure not to put them on fire, because that would be a shame. Anyways, when you have lit up 20 houses, you get the next grand prize. So this is exactly the same as we have in a lot of other events. The pirate ship, for example, exactly the same, just reskinned. And yeah, when you have picked 20, you get the grand prize. Also, let's go back a little bit, or head a little bit. Let's see, where is it? You also have the calendar. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so the calendar looks like this. For each day, you have a daily slot. When you find a key, you can open that slot for a small reward. And if you're able to open all 32 of these, you get the calendar collection rewards, which gives some forge points and goods, as well as 2 selection kits, I think, and this icon. But my strong recommendation is that you ignore the calendar. Practically speaking, you cannot get this for free. Even if you do spend some diamonds, you're definitely not guaranteed to get this. I'll show some numbers later on, but pretty much ignore this, don't go for it. It's not worth it. If you are spending a lot of diamonds, perhaps, but definitely not if you're playing for free. And even if you are spending diamonds, I would probably ignore it still. Try to go for more daily specials, or more daily specials that you want, instead of going for the calendar. Because with the calendar, you have to spend stars on many days. You will get some from daily challenges, so each day one of the options will give you between 1 and 3 key fragments. You will get 1.5 on average from this, so around 9 I think it is, which does mean that you only in quotation marks, need to pick up 23 daily keys from the minigame. But even that, it's a lot, and you have to spend stars on days where you're not interested in the daily special. So even if you are spending a lot of diamonds, I would simply ignore the calendar. So yeah, that's about it for this. You can see the diamond cost, around 100 stars per 1,000 diamonds. We get a little bit back into that, but let's talk a little bit more about the rewards. So milestone rewards, here you can see that you get 3 Winter Canal upgrade kits. The Winter Canal is the new grand building, new event building. It is quite big at 6x4, but it does give either defense for your attacking army or attack for your attacking army. As you can see, it has 10 levels. So at the highest level, it can give up to 24 attack or up to 30 defense for your attacking army. That is decent. It's not the best, but here, this one gives 1 attack per tile, excluding roads, so a little bit under 1 attack per tile, which is alright. It's not amazing, but it's decent. It's on par with buildings like the winter train, for example, so definitely alright. And you get a decent amount of forge points. Again, nothing crazy, but perfectly fine. Definitely a nice building. I would definitely add it to my city. Now, which one should you get? Well, that really depends. The one that gives defense for your attacking army, it gives 3 more forge points at 12 instead of 9, and it also gives 6% more defense than the other one gives attack. But again, attack is usually more valuable, so I don't know. I think both are good options. I would really look at what you need. If you have a lot of, or if you need more defense, definitely go for this. But if you would rather have more attack, go for this. Both are good options. So, next question is, how easy is it to get this for free? And the short answer is it's very easy to get for free. So you get 3 pieces here for free, or from milestone rewards. If you have the event surprise box, that's another one. So you only need another 6 upgrade kits to get it fully leveled. Now let's quickly talk about the number of stars you have and how many stars you actually get to spend, because you have, or for free, you will get 1,355 stars. However, as I mentioned, you also get stars back from some of the different rewards. So actually, based on both testing on beta and based on some simulations I've done, and I'll go over this at the end of the video, in reality, the amount of stars you get to spend is actually the starting amount you have multiplied by a factor of 1.38. So essentially what that means is that for every 10 stars you spend, you get back 3.8 stars on average. So in reality, you will have something like 1,850 stars to spend if you only have those 1,355 starting stars. So that's something to keep in mind. And when we talk about grand prizes, this is important. So for each grand prize, as you recall, you needed 20 hair progression here. You need to light 20 of these. For that, you need 10 matchsticks, and for each match, you need 10 stars essentially. So what we can do is that we can divide this by 100. And that means that from 1,800 stars, you will get 18 grand prizes. Now let's move on to the grand prizes. You can see that you get one upgrade kit for every other grand prize, which means that in order to get the 6 you need, you only need 11 grand prizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's actually very easy to get one for free, and you should actually be able to get all the way up to 18 here. So you should be able to get this, which means you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus those 3 milestone rewards, that is 12 upgrade kits. If you have the Adventure Prize Box, that is 13. So you should be able to get 12 or 13, or you might even be able to get all the way here for free to this. So you might be able to get all the way up to 14 upgrade kits for free, or 14 levels. Now, what impact does that have on getting the second grand prize? Well, essentially, that means that if we assume that you get around here, you need another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 pieces there. Oh wait, one more. Here, I think. Anyways, I've looked at this before, and basically what it means is to get the second Winter Canal fully leveled, you need around 10,000 diamonds, and for each Winter Canal beyond that, you need around 16,000 diamonds. And that's quite a stable price, even price. It won't fluctuate a lot. So yeah, around 16,000 for each additional one, except for the second one, which will cost you a little bit less because you do get some additional kits for free. So yeah, that's the diamond cost for grand prizes. Let's move on to daily specials. When it comes to the daily specials, let's first look at all of them, see which ones are good. So Winter Bakery, not really good. The Spire, quite outdated. The Charming Cottage as well, outdated. Rogue Hideout Shrink Kit might be quite nice for new cities. On my world here, as you can see, I have 3 full Rogue Hideouts, so a Shrink Kit might be nice for one of those. So yeah, that's something to consider. Of course, you have the Sentinel Outpost. This is the most efficient building on this list. And if you are not really interested in any of the other rewards, you should definitely go for the Sentinel Outpost. Ignore these. Shrine of Knowledge, I do believe that's the one that gives the most to the Antique Dealer. I haven't checked it out, but you could check out the Charming Cottage. That might give a decent amount as well. Or the Slave Builder might give a decent amount. I haven't really checked. But yeah, that's a nice option for the Antique Dealer. Then you have the Winter Terrain. This one is definitely a nice building. As I mentioned, the one that gives attack gives up to... Oh, okay, it actually gives a little bit more than I thought. I thought this was 21. Anyways, it gives up to 24% attack. That's actually better than I thought. Anyways, that's a good option. If you're after attack, you need 9 of these, and you should be able to get that for free. So if you want a lot of attack, you could go for this. If you are on a new city, it might not be the best, because yeah, in lower ages it doesn't give the full amount. So that's something to consider on new cities. What I think I will do, I haven't fully decided yet, but what I might do is that I might get a train at level 1 combined with a lot of train cars. So you have 3 different cars from before. You have the freight car, sleeping car, and dining car. Out of those, if you're after attack, the dining car is best option. It gives 4% attack for each, which is not great, but it's the same for all ages. And on a new city where you want a lot of attack quickly, this could be a good option. Now on this, for this event, they actually added a new car, the parlor car. Now this is brand new, and it's actually not included in the Winter Train Cars selection kit. It's not included here. This one only includes the original 3 from 2 years ago. The new one is a separate daily special, so keep that in mind. But this new one, it gives 5% defense for your attacking army, so a little bit more than the dining car, but it's defense instead of attack, so usually a little bit worth a little bit less. So it's up to you if you want to go for attack or defense. But on a new city, an interesting option might be, as I said, to get a train at level 1 and a bunch of cars. Of course, that'll take a lot of space, so that's something to consider, but it's an interesting option regardless. Of course, another option on a new city to get the attack is to simply go for the Sentinel outposts. Needs a lot less space, a lot more efficient, but you do get less per grand prize. So here we get 2 defense per grand prize, per daily special, sorry. With the parlor car, for example, you get 5 per daily special, so over 2.5 times more per daily special, but of course a lot less efficient use of space. Now outside of those, the sleigh builder is also a very nice, interesting option. This should be very nice on a new city as well, if you're not that focused on attack, but want to increase your goods production. This is a very nice building for that. You get 15 goods per day. Current age, or age of the building, it's only 2x3, so very small. For me, for example, I'm now in LMA. The buildings I have are 4x4 and 4x3. So as a sleigh builder, would have the same efficiency as my herb from the previous age. It would be more efficient than my basalt from the current age. And it can be upgraded in the future to produce current age goods, and it doesn't require a lot of population. How much does it need? In my age, it needs 70, and for the goods buildings I have, they need 400-500. So yeah, this is definitely a nice option on new cities if you want more goods production. And they're also very nice for events because they act as either current or previous age buildings if they are in previous or current age. So if you need production buildings from your age or the previous age, this will count towards that if the building is in your age. So this is definitely a nice option on new cities as well, and something to consider. Other than that, Winter Bakery, it's not great. I have a video from last year that I would watch if you're interested in this. If it's good or not, I would not go for it. You do have the Wishing Well, so if you have Diamond Worlds, Diamond Farms, this is definitely a nice option. You could go for that. You also have the Rogue Hideout, which might be good on a new city, a new world. You probably don't want too many of these. I have 3 in my city, and that's probably enough. I don't think I'll get more, and I'll probably delete some eventually when I get an Alcatraz, but yeah, some Rogue Hideouts early on might be good. So you could consider that. But yeah, I would mainly go for either the Sentinel, the Winter Train, where is it? There is the Winter Train, or a combination of Winter Train and train cars. So yeah, as I said, I'm not decided. I'll have to I'll have to make my mind up. And of course, the sleigh builder is also very nice. Now, next question is how many daily specials can you get on average? Now, as I mentioned, I made a simulation of the event, and again, I'll explain all of this a little bit later on in the video. But I do have a post here on the beta forum where I go a little bit into it. And here I have a distribution of daily specials that I made, and this is based on 100,000 simulated games or events with 1,355 starting stars. So as you recall, that's how many you can get for free. And based on this, the average number of daily specials is around 12. So you should be able to get quite a few daily specials in this event. Of course, if you are a little bit less lucky, you might get 11 or 10 or 9 or even all the way down to 7 or 6. But most likely you'll be somewhere between 10 and 14. Or if you are really lucky, you might get even more than that, up to 16, 17 or something like that. So yeah, around 12 daily specials on average. That means that the number of stars you need per grand prize, or per daily special, sorry, is around 112. So yeah, around 112 if we look at the, where is it? The diamond cost, if you go up a little bit, there's one scroll, where is it? I did mention, there we go. So for 100 stars, you need to spend around 1,500 diamonds, which means you need how many? 112 times 10.5. 10.5. You need around, let's say, 1,200 diamonds per daily special. So that's quite good. I think that's better than most events. Probably not as good as the upcoming Forge Bowl event, but I do think I'll make a separate video on that to compare the winter event and the Forge Bowl event for daily specials. But yeah, this is a very nice number. So if you do want to, for example, get an additional winter canal, if you want to get 2 of those, let's say you spend, I don't know, 10,000 diamonds for that, you might expect to get somewhere around 20-25 daily specials in total. So definitely an interesting option. I do think this is actually quite a nice event to spend diamonds on, even though the daily specials are not the best. There are better ones in other events. There are still some good options, and you do, and the main building is also, again, not the best, but quite nice. So an interesting one to spend diamonds on. Definitely something that you might consider. All right, now, as I mentioned earlier, I would go a little bit deeper into the number of keys you get and the calendar. And that's the main thing I made this post on. So at the same time as I did this, I also used my script to simulate how many keys you can get. And as I say here, if you have the starting keys, stars, only those, you need 32 keys to unlock all the doors. And and from those 100,000 games that I simulated, none managed to pick up the required 32 keys. But that is assuming you don't do any daily challenges. As I mentioned, you can get up to 9 keys, or around 9 keys from the daily challenges. So with those, you only need 23 keys from the minigame. But again, from my simulations, only 0.5% managed to get that many keys. So practically speaking, for free, you're not able to complete the calendar. If you're extremely lucky, you might be able to, and perhaps they will make some balancing changes from beta to live, but I doubt it. I don't think so. And the way the game works, because all the rewards are already determined when you shuffle, there's not really any, or chance doesn't, not a lot they can do to change your chance of getting it. The only thing they can do is increase the number of stars you have, and that would mess up the balancing when it comes to grand prizes and daily specials. So I don't really see them changing it, and if they don't change it, you practically can't get any keys at all, get enough keys at all to complete the calendar. So yeah, I also tested, as I say here, I tested it with 2,000 starting stars, and then only 40% of the games managed to get enough keys, assuming you get 9 keys from the daily challenges. So yeah, don't focus on the calendar, simply ignore it. Now that doesn't mean that you won't get some keys to spend, you will get some key fragments. So again, on Wiki here you can see all the different rewards. They will probably not be in the same order, so you want to wait until this is updated on the live event. So on the wiki page here, this will be filled in as the event progresses. So when that happens, go check here and then decide which days you want to spend the key fragments you pick up. Because you'll probably pick up somewhere around 10, 15 of these, which means you'll probably manage to pick up 2 or 3 of these prizes. So for example, 15 fort points might be nice on a new city. Yeah, not a lot good here. Supply rush would be quite nice. Rogue perhaps is nice. So yeah, have a look here which one you want, and you can see here what you want. Alright, and that's about it. That's pretty much all I want to cover. But as I mentioned, there are 2 more things that I'll talk a little bit about. First of all, the simulation I made, and then also a little bit about my hospital visit, which was interesting. So if you're interested, this one will be linked in the description, the script that you'll be able to see it if you want. I won't go too much into detail, but basically what it does is that it creates a random board, and then it picks random rewards, and it has some hard-coded actions or decisions based on what you know. So if we look at the board, now if you don't know anything about the board, you will simply choose a present at random, you will get that, and that's simple enough to simulate. You simply pick random, and based on what you get, an action happens. Now you also have this show to option, which makes it a little bit more complicated, but not a lot. So basically what this script does is that if you have found 2, or if you pick the show to, 2 rewards at random will be shown to you. And if you know that, if you go back to the script here, so if I know that there are items in this list, or 2 items that are shown, I then check if I want to pick any of those. And basically, if I've shown 2, if I get this, I want to pick it. If I get the key, I want to pick it because I get 10 stars. And picking 10 stars is good because you get back what you pick, but you get 1 more match. So you always want to pick the key fragments and the 10 stars if they are an option. And you always want to pick this. You usually also want to pick the double bonus, the 2x, because you might be lucky and next time you might get the daily special, for example. And if you have found the daily special, you want to pick the switch so that you can get a new daily special. If you haven't found the daily special, then you don't want to pick the switch yet. So that's basically what I've done in this script. So here I have some logic to handle all of that. So if I have the show to option, I will pick a good one if any of those are available. If not, I will pick a random present that is not visible. Or if I don't have any show to available, I simply pick at random a random one. And then I set a number of starting stars, 1355 for example. And then I simply initiate this and I pick random rewards until I no longer have enough stars. And from this, if I run that, in this example, I got 15 daily special. That's quite lucky. If I run it again, I got 12. If I run it again, 11, and so on. And basically that's what I did. I did that for 100,000 games. That's 100,000, I think. Yep. 100,000 games with that number of starting stars. Then what I did, here I have a plot that plots the reward. And it should now generate a reward. Should take a little bit, not too long, because yeah, this is computers are quite good at this. So 100,000 sounds like a lot of games, but you can see it's done 30,000 already. So I don't know, 10, 20 seconds, and this is done. And when I do that, it'll print show a graph of all the rewards, or how many rewards each of these games got. So 100,000 games each time it got a number of rewards. Here you have that graph. This is not a great graph, but here at 10, 20% of the 19% of the games got 12, a little bit less got 11, 13, and so on. And also here it prints out how many different games got given rewards. So 0 games got 0 daily specials, and so on. 9 got 5 daily specials, or 4 daily specials, and so on. So yeah, you can play around with this if you're interested. You can also do the same for keys. Set this to true and run it. It'll now, instead of trying to go for daily specials, it'll go for keys. So sure, let's just run that. Why not? That should be fun. Again, it'll take 20 seconds. And now, instead of looking for daily specials, it'll try to get keys. And here I have another condition. Basically, when you go for keys, or if you want to go for keys, the optimal play is to stop after you have found a daily key. That way you get a free reset afterwards for the next day, so you don't have to find a shuffle in order to get the next key. So if you set this to true, it'll now look at how many keys you can get. So here I have that. This one is, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14, 15 keys on average. And you need 23. So you need all the way up here to get the calendar fully leveled. Here, this or above. So very, very few games manage to get that. You will not get enough, practically speaking. So yeah, you can also use it for that if you want. So you can play around with that, and I'll link that in the description. Alright, now finally let me talk about my hospital visit while I play some on my new city. This Thursday I finally took my second dose of the vaccine. I was supposed to take it quite a long time ago, but for one reason or another it got pushed off. But anyways, I finally took it. And everything went fine initially. Last time I took it, I got very ill for like 10-20 minutes afterwards, but I got better again quite immediately, so nothing special there. Had some pain in my arm, of course, but that's quite usual. This time I actually didn't feel any, I wasn't really ill. Everything went quite well. But then after around 10 minutes or so, I started getting some pain in my chest. It wasn't anything serious, nothing too crazy, just some slight pulsating pain, nothing too serious, but I of course notified the people there that I felt some pain, and I was stretchered off to a secluded area where they did some tests, EKG test, I think that's what they're called, so on, just to check if everything was okay. At that moment I didn't feel any pain anymore in my chest. It pretty much stopped after a minute or so, but still, they did some tests. They were very professional, very, very caring, very well cared after. But yeah, they did some tests, and they wanted to, just to be sure, they didn't think there was anything wrong, but just to be sure, they wanted to send me to the hospital to do some more tests, so they sent for an ambulance. That was quite interesting. So a few minutes later, an ambulance came and took me. I was moved on to another stretcher and stretchered off to the ambulance. It was snowing outside. That was quite interesting. Again, I was feeling quite fine at the time. I hadn't the pain in my chest stopped quite immediately, so everything looked okay. But they wanted to just be safe, wanted to check it out, so. Yeah, I was sent by the ambulance to the hospital, and that was, to be honest, now that I know everything was fine, it was actually quite an interesting experience because, yeah, I haven't been in an ambulance before. So it was actually quite interesting to see how it worked. But yeah, they just drove me nicely to the hospital. They didn't have any blue lights on or anything like that. Didn't seem serious at all. But again, they wanted to test it out. So I arrived at the hospital. They did some more tests. They did an ultrasound scan of my heart, which was interesting. But yeah, everything seemed fine. Again, I hadn't experienced any pain since it first started. So yeah, I was fine. They didn't find anything wrong. So a little bit later, was around 2.5 hours after I took the vaccine, everything was over. I got a cab from the hospital back home, and yeah, I went back home and everything went fine. And the next day I went to work, nothing. I felt quite fine. I was still a little bit ill, but yeah, that's quite normal, I know. So nothing in my chest anymore, just a little bit, not a little bit, no pain in my head and so on. But yeah, nothing worrying, nothing that I felt worried about. I felt fine. Actually, funnily enough, I felt better this time than I did my last time. The last time I had quite a lot of pain in my arm for a couple of days afterwards, and I do still feel a little bit now, but I actually was much better this time. Last time I was quite stiff, and it lasted for I was stiff for like, I don't know, a couple of days, a week or so. I had some slight pain for, I don't know, longer than that, 2 weeks perhaps. But now I'm still, I feel a little bit, but yeah, much better now. I was much better there immediately anyway. So yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to share that. It was, in the end, because everything was fine, to be honest, it was quite an interesting experience, as I mentioned. I have never been in an ambulance before. I haven't really been too much to the hospital either, so it was very interesting to see, and I'm lucky to be in a country with a very, very good healthcare system, very professional. I felt very, very safe, and yeah, I didn't really feel too worried at all because, as I said, I didn't. The pain stopped quite quickly, so yeah, it was an interesting story. I think I'll leave it there. This video is quite long already, so yeah, I'll end it there. Before I end, let me thank my Patreons. So I would like to thank Homestar, Merrick B, PQ the Goat, Outler, Sabathia, Hugo Count von Count, Jan Fredriksson, G the Generous, Rocco, Henrik der Eklerberg, and Mattia. Alright, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the future.